We're live now, Maryker.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special council meeting here on the 25th of August. I want to welcome council. There is only one item on the agenda, and it comes out of some more than a week's negotiations we've had with CUPE 2099. And at this time, we want to discuss, some of the proposals that are on the table and what's happened in the last 24 hours. So I'm going to let the microphone go over to you, Deputy Mayor Kiley, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. At this time, I'd like to strike a motion, and I'd like to move that the council endorse the E9 proposal that the city, in fact, had advanced to QP Local 2099 for the consideration yesterday, actually, at August 24th.
And that'll be seconded by Councillor Locke.
I second that, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Kiley, back to you.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to speak to it and why I'm endorsing this proposal at this time. And I'd like to say that I am certainly speaking to my colleagues here. I'm speaking to the residents. I am speaking to the workers. I'm speaking to you when I'm talking today, because I think it's important that everyone has an opportunity to hear from council in relation to the work that had happened throughout the table of negotiations over the past couple of weeks, and why we're here right now endorsing this particular motion. So, of course, one thing I want to talk about is this is about listening, that we've certainly listened to our residents. We have listened also to the union and heard their concerns in relation to negotiation, and certainly our negotiation team has done that. And while that means our ultimate accountability is to the city and as stewards of both our economic and financial accountability and wellness, it's really important to find and strike a balance. And I think that's where E9 as a proposal does so. So let's just talk about some of the details within there. I want to first focus on sick leave. Of course, currently our unionized workers receive 21 days of sick leave annually. And that doesn't have a cap of that's no cap of accumulation for sick days. During negotiations, it was very, very clearly put out to us, to the city, and very communicated that one of the items that were really a concern was a two-tier system, in which one employee would have a different allotment of sick leave over the other. So we wanted to be flexible. One part of that is ensuring that all members would receive the same amount of sick days. Similarly was the amount of sick days. So the final proposal that was sent yesterday to the team identified, yes, a slight reduction, but all members would receive the same amount of benefits for both. So the reduction was from 21 to 18. And that also included an introduction of 2 personal leave days within the existing special leave. So we were looking at a way to strike balance. And while there's a slight reduction, it does ensure that our unionized employees have more than reasonable access to sick leave. And that's important. And I think what we heard certainly from the members and from those throughout the negotiation process is that two-tiered was not an option, that we had to find some flexibility, and that we had to also keep our health and wellness of our employees at bay. And I believe what we have come from is a strong example of that. I also wanted to speak, Your Worship, to winter snow clearing. We know that snow clearing is not only one of our most crucial services, it is well known as probably one of the best, if not the best, nationally. But more importantly, it allows for a health and safety commute back and forth to our neighborhoods and our communities. One of the items we wanted to look at was ensuring that our most crucial service can remain sustainable. And while I take, and all of us takes much pride in it, we refer really to, we're known throughout. And I know our team does an incredible job, and our public works team does an incredible job every year. So during the time right now, what we needed to look at was maintenance and operations. And so we recognize there has been some presentations over the past years with operational and financial challenges throughout snow clearing that we wanted to address. And so to ensure like we have more consistent, available and ready services there, we had proposed an additional 2 additional operating staffs on the weekend shift. That ensures when we are having difficult weather, harder weather, that we have additional people ready to roll. It also ensures that we're not addressing fully we're not fully relying heavily on overtime, but also it ensures a health work balance, that we can plan for harder days and that we have a better operational system in place for our snow clearing. Additionally, I just want to talk about wages. That's also an important point. We certainly heard loud and clear from and knowing the economic climate of what we're coming out of, that our members and that our workers deserved and needed an increase at that time. So we are continuing to be a great place to work and recognizing it needs to not only be something that's indicative of our economic climate, but we want to be a competitive place and we want to have a competitive benefits. So with that in place, we have put on the table a 9% increase over the next 4 years for our workers. And we see that as a proposal that not only balances what we financially are able to offer and the economic stability, and knowing that we certainly are we're going to find a way to offset those costs increase. It really reflects the current economic climate, what we've heard from our workers, and we feel it's a fair and reasonable offer to be at the level of 9%. Finally, I also want to focus on another item which is so important to us as a city and as a community that has so much essential focus on health and safety and a culture of health and safety. We had submitted a return to work agreement, specifically one that identifies that with regards to the health and safety, with regards to our workers, our employees complying to our occupational health and safety standards, no matter what, strike or no strike, on a picket line, off a picket line, that employees have the right to a safe working responsibility, but they also have the responsibility ensuring a safe and healthy working space. So for that in place, I outlined a return to work process that we feel and that I know ensures a culture of health and safety and ensures moving forward that no matter what, we are responsible and we have a right to safe and healthy work environments and to maintain that culture in no matter what environment and no matter what time. I strongly believe in that. I think it's ensuring not only the safety of our workers now, but throughout the continuation of our workers and into our city. With that in mind, those are a few points I wanted to make. Again, I just want to speak directly to everyone listening right now, our workers, our residents, and those who have been directly impacted by this. Know that we've been working hard on this, that we feel this is a reasonable offer, that we have been flexible, but also responsible stewards of our city. So when we look at these matters, we feel this is a balance between the concerns that were outlined throughout the negotiation process, what we reasonably and fair can offer, but also maintaining the most fairest culture of safety and the responsibility as a council to ensure we have a economic and social economic wellness in years to come, outside of election cycles, outside of contracts, for multiple years to come. And that is our responsibility, and that's what I commit to. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. On to you, Councillor Locke.
Sorry, Mayor. Had a hard time finding the button there. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Deputy Mayor has touched on many of the key points of this our proposal, Your Worship. And we've been in negotiations since March, but in earnest over the last 2 weeks, we've been at the bargaining table, and it's bargaining, and that's where this contract is going to be ultimately decided. So we decided to proceed with this tonight because there's a lot of misinformation out there. We're finding that some of our residents are hearing different things about the city's offer. Some of our workers don't have all the facts of the offer. So the purpose here tonight, as our Deputy Mayor said, is to communicate to our employees, our striking employees, those on the picket lines, and also to our residents and their families to let them know, what offer is indeed on the table. So basically to address any misinformation that may be circulating in the community or in social media. Deputy Mayor mentioned, the sick leave. We know from the get-go that this was a contentious issue. This two-tier system that the union executive have been speaking about, and they felt it unfair. But again, we did listen. We said from the get-go that we are open to discussion, open to negotiation, and that we will listen. Our objective has always been to arrive at a collective bargaining contract that is balanced and fair to our taxpayers. Our primary source of revenue, as we know, Mayor, is our taxation. And that revenue is what we use to pay for the services, which includes the payroll. So our objective, has always been, and the task wasn't an easy one, is to find a balance between financial prudence, fiscal responsibility with the taxpayers' money, but at the same time, offering a fair wage and compensation package benefits to our residents. So sick leave was the issue. So I won't repeat all the details, but again, we agreed, okay, we don't want a two-tier system. So we reduced it from 21 days to 18 days, offered it to professional or personal leave days, which is something that our employees currently don't have. So the proposal is that the 7 special leave days that is in the current contract, that 2 of those can be personal leave days. And that allows some more flexibility for any unforeseen circumstances that may arise in the lives of our employees. So, the reduction in sick leave, again, it's all about the balance between financial responsibility and fairness to our employees. So that would allow us to find some savings that may allow us to present, that allowed us to present a wage increase offer here. The winter snow clearing is crucial, as the Deputy Mayor said, and as we all know, Mount Pearl is known right across this province to have the premier snow clearing. We are the best at snow clearing, but that comes at a cost. Our snow clearing and our very high level of snow clearing, it's expensive, and we know that. But our residents appreciate that level of snow clearing. The challenge was that any winter event that occurred on the weekend, all snow clearing operations under the current contract were paid for through overtime. So again, our offer is add 2 winter shifts on the weekend, and then this will allow us some savings and increase operations. It allows us to plan better. It just allows for a more efficient service. So our offer is for the winter snow clearing and maintenance, a winter shift, 2 shifts, 2 personnel put on the weekends. And again, that will help us save some money. That again allowed us to offer the generous wage increase that we're presenting here. Speaking of the wages, as we said, Mount Pearl has strived and continues to strive, Your Worship, to be an employer of choice. And we work very hard to make sure that Mount Pearl is a great place to work. And we know that we offer a very competitive wage and benefits package. And we're fine with that. Our bargaining team has worked hard again to reach an agreement that is fair, that offers a fair increase to our workers, and is responsible to our taxpayers. So again, our proposal of 9% over the next 4 years. That is a very generous offer in light of the fact that, our bargaining unit received 4% over the past 4 years. So this is in addition to a 4% increase over the last 4 years and a 9% increase over the next 4 years. So again, it's a very fair and generous offer. We also mentioned about the return to work agreement. So late last week, our city with the union, through our conciliator, we began discussing a back to work or return to work agreement. And as the Deputy Mayor mentioned here, health and safety is a priority for the city of Mount Pearl. We want a workplace that is respectful, that is safe, that is healthy, but everyone has a responsibility for that. So we take that very seriously. So our employees must comply with our city's occupational health and safety policy and safe operating practices in all circumstances, including during a strike or labor disruption. Unfortunately, an outstanding issue remains in relation to what the city deems a significant health and safety matter. And this must be resolved before the employees return to work. Another part of that return to work agreement is a signing bonus. Again, we're sensitive to the fact, and we acknowledge the hardship that our striking employees have encountered. So we're offering a signing bonus of $1,000, a one-time signing bonus of $1,000 as an incentive to get our employees back to work. So these are just some of the highlights of the proposal that we sent to our union executive yesterday. And we feel it's fair, it's fiscally responsible. And I really, really hope that this is brought to the members. The members now know what we've offered, and I hope it's brought to the members for a vote to let them have a say in what the city is offering them right now. These negotiations have been tough, but negotiations are compromise, give and take. We have listened, we have been flexible, and we have shown compromise. So Mayor, I think this is a very fair offer. Again, it's balanced, it's fiscally responsible, and it's fair to our taxpayers, and it's fair to our employees. Thank you, Your Worship. You're on mute, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Locke. I'm going to move to Councillor Fry now. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. You know, these past 7 or 8 weeks have been difficult on everybody. You know, it's been difficult on the residents with reduced services, and we know that it's got to be frustrating, especially in the summertime with, you know, garbage and 2-week collection. Things can start to smell, but people have been very patient and very understanding, and we appreciate that. We know it's been difficult. We know it's been challenging. It's also been difficult for those people on the picket line. We have some of the best employees in the city of Mount Pearl, and we have some really good people. And they're looking for a fair deal. And as a council, we are looking also to treat our employees well, but we also have to do it within our fiscal restraints and prudency of the role that we've been elected to. So I feel very confident that this is a fair deal for everybody involved. You know, I feel that 9%, which is more than double what we offered in the last contract, is reflective of the current inflation levels. And I think it's fair to our employees. Some may say it's a bit high. Some public may say it's a bit high, but it's, as Councillor Locke said, you know, it's something that we want to strive to be an employer of choice, and to make sure that our employees are well compensated. And we do believe that this is fair. Being on the picket line for 7 or 8 weeks is challenging, and the $1,000 signing bonus would certainly be a help for employees, especially with those who have children going back to school. It's tough. And we hope that this is something that they will see that would help, at least in some way. We want to see our city get back. And I know that our employees want to get back to work. They're good people. They want to get back to work. We want them back to work. So I believe that this is a fair deal, fiscally responsible. And I think it's time that we all just get back to normal and get on with our lives. So I sincerely hope that this deal will be accepted by our membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And I'm going to move to Councillor Antle, please.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. It's certainly, I hope it's a good night. Over the past 7 or 8 weeks, I think I've talked to many residents, and most of them have always told us, Bill, let's get it done. We want to get our employees back to work. And we do have great employees here in the city of Mount Pearl. The majority of us all know most of the employees, and we do want them back to work. And one of these, this negotiation, this bargaining that we work together on, we're trying to come up with the best solution to this impasse. One of the things we came up with is a great salary. As Councillor Locke just said, we are an employer of choice. Mount Pearl is an employer of choice. We treat our employees very well. And one of the things we have is a 9% wage increase over 4 years. 9% in this hard time, 9% is a great wage, or a great increase. And I think it's something that we should be proud that we can offer our employees this. We have looked at a couple of other things throughout the year. Is there sick leave? I heard people talk to me many times. I was sitting down for a coffee. What was this 2-tier sick leave? And this 2-tier sick leave was a contentious issue. But what we came up with was instead of 21 days, it's 18 days. And I think the union has agreed to this also. So everybody starting with the city of Mount Pearl, new employees, existing employees now having 18 sick days. Also included in that is the 2 extra days used in their 7 in lieu days. And these are just personal days that they can use whenever, and it's something that they'll work out with their managers. But that's a good thing to have. All right, we're really trying to work out some things that the city needed, and the employees understood that we needed better snow clearing. Mount Pearl is known by their snow clearing, and we're all proud of that. But one of the things we didn't have a weekend snow clearing shift. At 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon till 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, we certainly needed a snow clearing shift. Working together with our union, we came up with a deal that we do have a snow clearing shift. And I think that's a good thing to have, and our residents will like that. Our snow clearing is good, but this is going to make it even better. Without going into everything else that, everybody else already talked about, I think we all endorse this agreement. Also, at the end of the day, as Councillor Fry just said, we understand it's been hard on the picket lines for 7 or 8 weeks. And now we're going to offer a signing bonus. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to work as soon as we possibly can. And there's a $1,000 signing bonus. We really do want our employees back. And I truly believe this is a great deal for our employees. Thank you very much, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Antle. Over to you, Councillor Lane.
Thank you, Your Worship. I first just want to acknowledge, I know it's been tough times for both our residents with the reduced services and also our employees who have been on the picket lines. But we are working very hard to come to a fair agreement. And I think that we have finally reached an agreement that we as council believe to be fair. And I can stand behind this offer wholeheartedly, because I know that what we have there is completely fair. And it's fair to both our residents and to our employees. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that we have on the table that I think that are very important. One of those is the 2-tier system that was discussed. That's no longer on the table. There is a reduction of sick leave from 21 to 18 days, but I think a good addition that is on the table is the 2 personal leave days. Whether it be you're up with a screaming toddler or you have an appointment, these days give the flexibility to take a day when you truly need it. And I think that our employees will truly be able to avail of this wholeheartedly. We have a 9% wage increase on the table, and that is very much reflecting of the financial times right now. And I think that it's a very fair increase, and we are being competitive when it comes to our wages with our employees, because we are a great employer, and I don't think anybody can say that we're not. I understand that, I've heard a lot that residents have heard that we have not been at the table, but I just want to clarify that we certainly have been at the table, and we've been working towards this agreement for quite a while now. This is a very fair offer. I stand behind it with my council colleagues. Thank you, Your Worship.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And, I want to just end the debate, if I could, Deputy Mayor, by just talking about the fact that, we have 2 bargaining teams. One is for, CUPE, 2099, as well as one is for the employer. But at the end of the day, we are elected representatives, and we also speak in terms of a we also have to speak on their behalf. And I just realized I went out of order. I went before you, Councillor Rice, so I'm going to turn it back to you. Apologies. Thanks.
It's okay. I accept your apology. No worries. All good. We're all doing well here. So I'd just like to speak to this as well, Your Worship. I'm Councillor Rice, and I've been around this city since 1988. I raised my family here in Mount Pearl. I participated in a lot of coaching, volunteering. I take pride in the city, and that's why I moved here in 1988, and me and my wife, and I've moved 3 or 4 times since. But I've always stayed in Mount Pearl because I love the city of Mount Pearl, and I'm sure I've made, I had a lot of friends when I moved in here, and I've made numerous friends since I came here. And I even convinced people to move in here because this is the city of choice for people to live. I'll just add, we have the best, the operations of regarding our snow clearing, garbage collection, city services. The list goes on from our ball fields to our soccer pitches to our buildings. And the list is too much to name off, but we have premier services and we're always striving to be the best we can. People around Newfoundland, Labrador look up to us, and even the Atlantic provinces look up to Mount Pearl as a city of choice to come to live. So I just want to start off and say that I'm speaking directly to the employees of the city of Mount Pearl. We want all of you back to work. I mean, everyone are hurting this past 7 weeks. The city has offered a very, very fair contract with 9% over 4 years, 3% in the first year, and 2% in year 2, 3, and 4. The city of Mount Pearl has also offered a $1,000 one-time signing bonus for comeback, and we were happy to offer that. Another item I'd like to add is all my colleagues have mentioned about the health and safety concern in the city. We spend numerous amounts of dollars through our safety team, our management team, and also council has certainly supported everybody. The city has encountered many safety issues over the past 7 weeks pertaining to the strike. Employees putting themselves in certain safety situations, and it has put a very big amount of strain and a safety concern on our managers that are trying to operate the city. So I support E9. The past 2 years has been a very difficult time for the city regarding revenues. We just came through COVID, where we've seen the city of Mount Pearl with all of our facilities shut down for a number of months with no revenue coming in. We didn't have any money coming in for the city because a lot of our venues were closed. So we couldn't operate our Reed Center and ice services, and a lot of our buildings were closed. But the city workers were all kept on. I mean, nobody was laid off. We put a plan in place to have all the city workers paid fully while COVID was on. We went through a difficult time financially, mentally, and we supported each other in those times. So I'm supporting our management team. And one thing I'd like to say about the health and safety concerns is that, the employees that did put themselves out there, we cannot let that go. I mean, you've got to be liable for your actions. You are employees of the city of Mount Pearl. We respect that, but we also respect their health and safety. So I am supporting E9 final offer, and I'm hoping the membership will vote to accept this new deal for the next 4 years. I am, I'm here to help. I'm here to support. I'm here to do what I can, but I'd like to say that I have a lot of friends of mine that are working for the city. So they're hurting as well. And I've been talking to them, and it's hard on everybody. So please, give this some serious consideration. When you really sit down, look at the offer we're giving, it's a very, very fair offer, considering our financial situation. So please, when you read it over, just, have a really good read of what you're reading, and have a serious consideration for what we're offering. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thanks, Councillor Rice. And I want to just comment on the hard work that has taken place in the last 7 months between the two bargaining teams with QP 2099 as well as our management team. I think we got a lot more accomplished in the last 2 weeks than we did perhaps in the previous 5 or 6 months. And good things can happen when you get to the table. And we've been there for the last 2 weeks. At the end of the day, we've constructed what we feel is a very, very fair offer that's worth consideration. That's all we're saying. Worth consideration by the membership. And people have to realize, we're accountable and we have to be transparent with the public. We spend the city's tax dollars in a fair way. Our employees, however, deliver the services, and they deserve to be compensated fairly. And I think this offer is very fair. And I do believe the majority of our employees, like the majority of our residents, will believe that what we've done here together, both with QP 2099 and our management team, has accomplished quite a bit. And it's basically time to, in my view, it's time to see everybody get back to work and start delivering the services that we're all proud of. QP's proud of, the council's proud of, and our management team is proud of. But I have to respond to, there probably will be an accusation that by going public, this is bargaining in bad faith. But frankly, we don't agree. We have to be open as elected members of council. We have to be open from time to time with our residents and our businesses, those that elected us. So at the end of the day, we're putting this out here tonight to inform our residents what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, in addition to the previous 6 months. And this is where we've arrived. And at this point in time, it's time for decisions to be made. It's time for decisions to be made to get our employees back to work. So I want to thank council for having the special meeting here tonight. And I'm going to call for a vote on the motion made by Deputy Mayor Kiley and seconded by Councillor Locke. All in favor?
All right.
And those opposed? And that motion is carried. So we'll go from here, folks. I'm going to accept the motion to adjourn the meeting. Councillor Rice and Deputy Mayor Locke. Thank you very much, folks. We're adjourned.